Hi all, this is me Karan. So in the previous lecture, we tried understanding what is conditional variable and we tried understanding what are the use cases of condition variables. So in this particular lecture, we'll try to do one small experiment to understand how the condition variable works. So here again, I have taken the very same example which we used in the previous lecture. That is, there will be a producer which will produce the data and push the data inside a data queue, and there will be a consumer thread. If data will be there inside that data queue, consumer thread will consume that data, and if data won't be there inside the data queue, it will wait for producer to produce the data, and once producer pushes the data inside the data queue, it will notify the consumer. So for this entire experiment, I have included all these required header files. So here my condition variable is CV, and there is this mutex, mtx, and there is this data queue. All these variables and containers will be shared between both the threads, that is thread T1 and thread T2. And from main, we'll create two threads, thread T1 which will execute producer and thread T2 which will execute consumer. So first we'll try to implement the producer. So what is the task of the producer? So producer will produce some kind of data. So here first I will acquire the lock because I'll access the shared data. So I'll acquire this mutex and then I'll access the shared data queue, which is data queue, and inside this data queue I'll put some integer value. So in this case I am putting 10. So producer has produced this particular value. Now producer will notify the consumer that I have pushed the data to the data queue and something is there inside this data queue. Now you can consume that. So this is how our producer will look like. Now we'll try to implement the consumer. So again, first of all, consumer will acquire the mutex and it will wait for data. So if something is there inside the data queue, so this particular function will return true. And now we'll fetch the data from the data queue dot front, and I will remove that data from the data queue, and I can print whatever data I have received from the producer. So this is what I will do. For a better understanding, let me add a few log lines. And at the same time, just before this wait, I can add one more log line. And here I want to make sure that first consumer code runs and then producer code runs. So for that, what I am doing is I'll just add a sleep of 1 second. So because of this, what will happen is consumer will reach here before producer producing the data. So this particular sleep will help executing the consumer code first. After executing this particular piece of code, we'll try understanding how this is working. And inside main, I want to make sure that both the threads join successfully. So I will join them, and at the same time I'll do very same thing for thread T2. Let's try executing the code. So right now I'm getting some kind of errors. There is some syntax error. Let me rerun the code. So now code has compiled successfully. Let's execute the code. So here I can see consumer waiting for data to arrive, producer adding data to the data queue. And now on the consumer side, I can see data received equal to 10. And now my code has terminated. So how this entire code is working is T1 is executing producer, T2 is executing consumer. So when producer starts executing the code, at that time it waits for 1 second. And at the same time, consumer will also start running and it will acquire this particular lock. And it will try checking this particular condition, whether data is there inside the data queue or not. Because producer thread is waiting at this point, so this has not created any of the data point. So it has not pushed any data inside the data queue. So at this point, consumer thread waits for producer to produce some kind of data. So after the sleep of this 1 second, producer acquires this particular mutex and then pushes the data inside the data queue and it sends the notification. And once this notification reaches here, again the consumer thread checks whether something is there inside the data queue or not. So this time data is there inside the data queue, so we come out of this wait condition. And at this point we access the data and then we remove that data from the data queue and we just print whatever we have received from the producer. So that's why I am seeing here consumer waiting for data to arrive. So consumer is waiting at this point and producer then added the data inside the data queue and then consumer thread logs data received equal to 10 because this 10 was added to the data queue. So here for better demonstration, I can make a small change, that is producer will push 10 data points inside the data queue and consumer will wait for each data point to arrive, and once the data point arrives it will fetch the data from that data queue. So for that what I am doing is while I am taking as count equal to 10, so I will check if count is not equal to 0, then just keep producing the data. And same way I'll do very same exercise on the consumer side, that is consume count equal to 10, that is I'm supposed to fetch 10 data points. While consume count is not equal to 0, till that time you keep consuming the data. So after making these changes, producer will produce one data point every 1 second. And same way consumer will consume whenever there will be data inside the data queue. And once this condition terminates, we'll come out of this loop and our consumer thread and producer thread will terminate. And that way our main thread will terminate. And here to make sure that main thread is waiting for consumer and producer to complete their task, I'll just add a sleep of 10 seconds at this point. So let's execute the code. So I'm getting this error, and this is because std count is a keyword in C++. So I can change the name of this variable, that is count1, and at the same time we have not decreased the value of count1, and at the same time we also need to decrease the value of consume count. So let's try compiling the code again. So this time code has compiled successfully. Let me execute the code. Waiting for data to arrive, producer adding data to the data queue. So now data has been received by the consumer. Again in the next iteration, consumer is waiting for data to arrive, producer is adding data to the data queue after some time, and then consumer is saying it has received the data, which is 10. And this entire process is happening for 10 iterations. So if I try concluding the entire lecture, so here there is this thread T1 which is executing producer, and there is this thread T2 which is executing consumer. So T1, which is producer, is producing the data and the consumer is consuming that particular data. If inside the data queue nothing is there at that time, consumer thread will wait at this particular point, and once data is arrived, consumer will receive some kind of notification that, oh, now data is available, now you can fetch that. And consumer will again check whether data is there or not. If data is there, it will consume the data and it will log the data on the screen. So this is how this entire code is working. Now in the next lecture, we'll try to understand how this cv.wait works internally and what is the meaning of different sections. And at the same time, we'll also try to understand why do we always use unique lock with the condition variable. So these two things we'll see in the next few lectures. Thank you.